Good morning, folks. Thank you for attending another Workshop Wednesday. I'm Jennifer Slattery with League of Cities and Towns, and today we have with us Administrator Walter Bud Craddock from the Department of Motor Vehicles here in Rhode Island, and he's going to talk to us about a statute that was passed last session on slow-moving vehicles. So I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Craddock. Thank you for
Hi.
being here.
Good morning, Jen. Thank you. And again, it's Bud, please. I don't
Okay.
use the Walter. The only time I ever use that is when I was in trouble in school, or when I did something wrong. My mother would use
Walter.
the proper name. But thank you. And what I wanted to do today is make sure that the municipal leaders are aware that the last session, the General Assembly passed a bill that allows low-speed vehicles to be operated within the state. The DMV is going to be registering the low-speed vehicles beginning July 1. But I wanted to make sure the municipal leaders are aware that they can, per the statute, which is 3119.6-1, they have the ability to pass ordinances to regulate where these vehicles can or cannot be used within their particular jurisdictions. Now, I've reached out already to the Rhode Island Police Chiefs Association, so that the chiefs can begin working with their elected officials to begin crafting regulations. I have with me today Roger Demers, legal counsel for the Division of Motor Vehicles, as well as Doug Starodumsky, who is the Chief of Safety and Emissions. And Doug is quite familiar with the particular type of vehicle if there are any specific questions. One of the things that we want to make sure is that people understand low-speed vehicles do not include golf carts. Golf carts are specifically excluded by statute. Low-speed vehicles are a type of vehicle that are approved under Code of Federal Regulations. The site, I believe, is in the statute, and that particular type of vehicle has certain safety requirements that are not inherent to golf carts. So if there are any questions about that, you can always refer to the CFR, or again, we are a resource for you. It's not up to us where these vehicles are going to be able to be used on the roads. It's going to be up to each individual municipality. And Jen, if you want to pull up the link. Thank you. This has been posted probably for about 2 or 3 months on the DMV website. This explains what the low-speed vehicles are, and it's got the site of the CFR on it. You'll note that they're limited to roadways that are under 35 miles an hour in the statute, but these vehicles have top speeds greater than 20 miles an hour, but not greater than 25. So where they use, it's going to be up to the municipalities to make sure they're comfortable where they're going to be operated. One of the sites, Section D in the statute, is the provision that allows the municipality by ordinance to prohibit the operation of low-speed vehicles on lane roadways. It's up to the municipality to decide, talking with their city solicitors, whether they want to do a blanket prohibition, or whether they want to allow these vehicles on just certain roadways. There is a dispute internally here about whether a blanket prohibition can be used. That's going to be up to each municipality's city solicitor to make that determination. And we are here, as I said, to be a resource to each municipality. If you have any questions, once you do enact any kind of ordinance, or either limiting or restricting, or where they can be used, we are happy to take a link from each jurisdiction and add it to our website so that individuals who are interested in getting one of these vehicles can have a central location to determine actual use. With that said, are there any questions at this point of me? Hearing none. Does
Hello.
anybody have any
Hello,
questions?
Bud.
Yes, I'm
How you
sorry.
doing? Chief Corrigan here.
Hi,
I
Sean,
just
how
want
are
to,
you?
I just want to confirm they're not going to be allowed on state roads, correct?
According to the statute, no.
Okay.
But again, that is subject to interpretation. Roger, you and I were talking about that just a little while ago.
Am I muted? Nope.
Oh, you're-
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, the way I read the statute, in 3119.6-1, it says that these vehicles are specifically prohibited from limited access highways and state highways. So I take that as any road with a route number. We were talking about, just for instance, we were talking about Cumberland this morning. Cumberland has Route 114, which is Diamond Hill Road. They have Route 122, which is Mendon Road. I mean, my interpretation of that, but again, we don't control that, would be that these vehicles would be prohibited from those roads.
Yeah, it's going to be up to each individual municipality to come up with their own interpretation of what this legislation is. It's not going to be our determination. Well, we are only registering and inspecting these vehicles. So the actual implementation of the statute about where they can or cannot be used is going to be up to each city and town.
Well, this is
Thank
from
you.
Newport, Rhode Island. So quick question on that. So take
how
for
are you?
example, Route 138, which is America's Cup Avenue through Newport, right? So technically, I think it might qualify under that definition of a state highway. But that's a roadway that has a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. No LSVs on that under this law, or permitted at local discretion? How should we interpret?
Again, that's going to be up to your solicitor, your city solicitor. We are not giving any legal advice on when or where.
Thank you.
Bud, this is Rich Rayner in Portsmouth. I think I already know the answer based on what you just answered to Mayor Zai, but we don't have kind of a town center in Portsmouth. So to get from any neighborhood to any other neighborhood in Portsmouth, you would either have to travel a state road or cross a state road. So I think we would probably, I'm going to talk to my chief, but we would probably be one of those communities that would be issuing a blanket prohibition. I'm just suspecting right now, just because otherwise we're going to be in a constant dilemma of how does somebody get anywhere without crossing a state road and breaking the law.
Well, again, if once you read the statute, they can cross the state road
Okay.
where there is a traffic control device.
Okay.
It's just that they can't be used on the road.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And just as a little aside, the sponsor of this bill is from, I believe, from your municipality.
Of course. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. I don't
Okay,
want to take time away from your regular meeting if there are no questions. Again, our number here, if you want to reach out to me directly, is 401-462-5705. I'm happy to talk to any municipal leader at any time to offer any support. These vehicles, as I said, will be begin being registered in July 1. They will have a special plate. We are in the process of designing plates at this time. They have to have a special emblem. We have a couple samples of what potentially the plates will look like. It'll have this orange symbol in the middle to indicate a low-speed vehicle. That's the standard low-speed vehicle sign on it. So that's what you'll be seeing on the roads. There will be inspection requirements that fall under Doug Starodumsky, our Chief of Safety and Emissions, and we will be working to go forward. And as I said, for those that have just joined, we're happy to take links to your ordinances when you do enact them and put them on. So there's a central repository for our state constituents to view, so they don't have to go searching too far. And again, just reiterate, these do not include golf carts. Golf carts are specifically excluded.
Director, it's Ernie.
Hi,
I
Ernie.
just want to say how grateful I am to you that you raised this issue with me and gave us an opportunity to to hear from you to talk to our CEOs about this issue moving forward. So thank you so much for being on top of the game with this
Well,
and helping me.
my pleasure. And again, I can, as a former law enforcement officer in the city of Cranston, I can see that this could create some problems if people don't get out ahead of it.
Mm.
So that's why I raised it with Sid Wardell from the Chiefs Association. And I know, and I'm sure Chief Corrigan will confirm that Sid sent it out to the chiefs so that they can begin the conversation at their level with their municipal leaders. But I didn't want to just leave it at that. I wanted to make sure that the leaders heard from us directly.
But that's correct. He circulated to all the chiefs.
But we're extremely grateful. Thank you so much for thinking of this.
My pleasure. And again, anytime, feel free to reach out.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day, everybody.
You too. Have fun.
Yep.
Thank you, folks. And we'll see you for another workshop Wednesday next week. Take care.
Thanks, Jen.